Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. Huge breaking NFL news. Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero, both of the NFL Network, are reporting that the Denver Broncos are firing Vic Fangio. Now, a lot of people saw this coming. It was definitely expected. I mean, the way I always looked at Denver, it was always a good football team, but they weren't good enough, if that makes sense. They were good, they did some good things, they hung in games, they would compete, they would get their fair share of wins, but they would never get over the hump. They would never take that step. They would never leap over Kansas City. They would never make that deep playoff run with Vic Fangio at the helm. And I mean, look, is Vic Fangio a smart football mind? I would say yes, he is. I think Fangio is one of the smartest defensive minds in football today. I mean, he's a versatile guy. He has production running both a 3-4 system and a 4-3. You look at, this day and age of football. It's all about throwing. It's all about highlights, pass interference, can't hit the quarterback. Quarterbacks are throwing 50 times a game all over the yard. His defenses always stepped up. His defenses were always stout. And look, I mean, he's going up against Justin Herbert 2 times a year, Patrick Mahomes 2 times a year. I was always impressed with Vic Fangio's defense. Another trait that I like about Vic was the development of defensive players. We look at guys like Justin Simmons, Patrick Surtain. We all know what Bradley Chubb can do. Harris on the defensive line. I'm a big fan of Bryce Callahan at corner. I think he's one of the more underrated players in the NFL. He doesn't get talked about enough. So yes, Fangio always had talent defensively, but he always had production. Always. But ultimately, I think what ended Fangio's, career in Denver here were two main things. Number one, offensive inconsistencies. And I would love to hear the Broncos fan, if you're a Bronco fan, love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section on, where you stand on this news, why you think it was right, why you think it was wrong, wherever you stand. But I think it was offensive inconsistencies, major problem. And then, of course, we touched on it before, not being able to win the game, not being able to win the West, not being able to, yes, you can hang with the Chiefs. You might get a game here or there, but it's when can you be that constant threat to the Chiefs? When can you really challenge for the division? And with Fangio, you just never really felt like that moment was going to get there. Again, they have the talent, and I'm going to say this for the Broncos fans. This is going to be one of the best jobs that you can take. For the available coaches, there's some rumors about, Matt Nagy, maybe Mike Zimmer. We'll see what happens with, there's obviously the Raiders, Jacksonville. I think Denver, man, they have so many things figured out. I get they play in a tough division. Raiders are a tough team. Chargers, Chiefs, I get it. But I mean, you can't, this is the NFL. You can't be afraid of competition. The Broncos have talent. They have wide receivers. They have tight ends. They have running backs. They have some solid pieces on the offensive line. Is it an elite offensive line? Is it a top 3 O-line? I don't think so. There's definitely some things that you can do there, but it's not some atrocious laughing stock. Again, defensively, they have the talent. All right, man, I'm looking at this Broncos job. It is extremely enticing. If you want to move off of Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Lock, this is the year to do it. Aaron Rodgers could be on the move. Okay, Deshaun Watson could be on the move. Kirk Cousins could be on the move. Who else? Russell Wilson. There are going to be options at the quarterback position this offseason. I'm looking at this Broncos job, man. I mean, what more could you want? They have so many things in place outside of them playing in the AFC West, a stacked division. But you know what? Again, this is the NFL here. For me, you're not going to find a much better gig than this. You're really not. So it should be really interesting on what direction the Broncos are going to travel down as far as the head coaching position is concerned, who they're going to opt for. Will they go for an offensive-minded guy? They went defense with Vance Joseph, defense Vic Fangio. Will they switch it up and go with a more offensive-minded guy? Think of Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, something like that. Maybe a CEO style of a head coach, kind of come in, oversee the entire operation, and do a really good job of delegating. I'm intrigued, man. I really am. Broncos fans, I cannot wait to hear your thoughts down below. But yeah, Vic Fangio fired by Denver. Should be crazy to see how it all plays out. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.